What's going on? Happy Thursday, everybody. Let's go ahead and wait for some people to jump on, share this out. I'm going to explain to you what I learned yesterday. Something I've always known, but something I truly, really, I guess, understood more yesterday because of an event that happened. So go ahead, share this bad boy out. I want to make sure that we can add value to the masses today. So we're going to be talking about deceptive thinking, how we are sabotaging ourselves with the way we think. So anybody that has thoughts should be watching this because we are the biggest liars, and it's to ourselves, and it's really harming us more than we actually know. So share this bad boy out. Let me know you're here. Put some comments in, and let's get this thing cranking. So yesterday I went skydiving. So first off, thank you to my beautiful wife who really pushed me to go, but she also got that for me for my birthday. So, I was sitting there and my birthday was in March, and I had set this thing up to go, once, twice, and whatever happened. And then I got in my own head. Of saying to myself, maybe I shouldn't be going, right? Maybe there's a reason I shouldn't be going. And I came up with all these excuses and lies to myself, is I didn't want to do this because of this. I'm going to speak, so I don't want to, something to happen. And all these excuses came into my mind, and I became the biggest liar to myself. And it even came down to the last minute. I even sat there and I was like, okay, tomorrow I'm supposed to go. So I hit up my buddy, Jesse, who's coming with me. And when I hit him up, I let him know, hey, are we going tomorrow? I didn't say, bro, let's go. I'm excited. I try to open it up for him to give me an excuse or a lie, so I didn't have to lie myself, right? So I didn't have to put the blame on me. Oh, it was Jesse. He's the reason why I didn't go. I should have known that, he wouldn't have put up a lie or excuse. So I sat there and I'm trying to put off, this question to him so he comes up with a reason so I don't have that feeling of, I'm the one that did it, right? So protecting my own damn ego. And that's one of the ways that, we lie to ourselves. So I went ahead and I'm there. I'm still there. And then, I'm at the skydive place. I'm like super excited. In that moment, I'm like, okay, I've sat here for months lying to myself on why I couldn't go. I was scared, simple as that. I was nervous. But I sat there and I realized I was lying to myself the whole time. And then long story short, once you get on the plane and, you think back, okay, there's still a chance for me to back out, but you don't want to be that guy. So I went ahead, jumped, and absolutely an amazing experience. It was a little nerve-wracking at first. I couldn't really hear him. He was talking, and he was telling me what to do, and I really couldn't hear what he was saying. But I went ahead and, kind of guessed what he was saying. So we sat down and crouched down right where the plane is. They were about, I think it was 15,000 feet up. And he does his thing. Next thing you know, boom, I'm going and I'm flying through the air and I can't breathe because the wind is in my face so bad. And it was pretty damn incredible. And then once the chute went up, I went ahead and we did all these 360 turns. And it was absolutely an amazing experience. And I always talk about on the other side of fear, there's nothing but greatness, right? Will Smith says there's nothing but pure bliss on the other side of fear. So that is why I search for it every day. Some things are bigger than others. So, what happens when you create this thought in your mind of not going after fear is you actually create these false realities. So once you conquer fear, I get into this on another call, but or another video. But once you conquer fear, and it's a huge fear, what would that do to all those little fears, right? Put that in perspective. So now I woke up this morning and it was like game day for me. It was weird. It was after jumping out of a plane yesterday and doing everything, I woke up this morning and did my gratitude list and my affirmation list. And I was on fire. I mean, I was rocking back and forth. I was about to go and play for the Super Bowl. So it's incredible. But let's talk about the lies. Let's talk about the lies we tell ourselves. So we have self-deception daily, and really we lie to ourselves all the time. But until you realize that lying to yourself and not admitting those fears and those thoughts that you're having, you can't truly find yourself, which means you can't truly grow. So when you sit here and you say, okay, I have all these thoughts in my mind and you don't realize they're lies, you can't grow exponentially. So until you could admit to yourself that you're lying to yourself, you can't truly grow, because we do it because we don't want to deal with the consequences. All right. So self-deception. And, what I look at, and I wrote this all down because I was just so excited I had to put it all on paper. So I'm going to go right off the list here, and it doesn't make a difference to me. So first off, you have to admit who you are, right? You have to admit who you are to have the opportunity for change. So are you admitting who you are? And if you aren't, you're not open to change. You're not going to be able to change the way you want to change. Another thing is we lie to ourselves about our past and why it's our future. For instance, maybe you were made fun of when you were a kid because of the way you looked. Now, all of a sudden, you lie to yourself that you're not pretty enough or good looking enough to do the things that this person does or that person does. Maybe, you had a missing father. So you lie to yourself and saying that, you were abandoned, so you're not going to be accepted by others. What is it you're lying to yourself about in the past that's dictating what you do, in your thoughts process and your actions that you take on a day-to-day basis? Another one is, this is the one I love. So another way of thinking that we have, and these are all absolute theories. These are, study after study, but it's ego defense mechanism. Ego defense mechanism. And our ego is to our core. Everybody out there has an ego, some bigger than others, but we all have an ego. So ego defense mechanism. Basically, we lie to ourselves to prevent the hurt to our ego. And that one, I think, is a big one for me that I need to be more self-aware of. But what are you doing as far as lying to yourself to prevent your ego from getting shattered? There's many cases where you're probably doing it on a day in and day out basis, and you're not realizing it. So that's another one. Another one is rational reasoning, right? So rationalization. So what are you rationalizing to excuse yourself? Right? What are you rationalizing to excuse yourself? And I just call these softeners. Tony Robbins calls them softeners as well. So, I'm just going to go on Facebook, but it's only 5 minutes. When it's not just 5 minutes. I'm just going to eat the one cookie. Well, you know that it's not just one cookie, right? I'm just gonna, not go to the gym today so I can go twice tomorrow. Your ass is not going twice tomorrow. So stop using an excuse. Stop rationalizing. Which is lying to yourself. Simple as that. Another one is projection, right? The projection, and a lot of people, you may have had this happen in your relationships, or you might have been the person that was doing that. So saying, I just don't think you're ready for this relationship, when really you weren't the one ready for it. Does that ring a bell? Or I'm not like that, you're like that. Does that ring a bell? Those two right there are the biggest ones. And I think for, the projection of it, projection thinking is huge. Stop lying to yourself. When you put that off on somebody else, take a second, relax, because it's probably you that is the one feeling that way, but you're trying to project it on somebody else, right? So, for instance, with Jesse, I was doing a little bit of mixture of all these. I was projecting, oh, man, you don't want to go, right? I did it to my boy Adam and a few others, and they fell for it. I projected those things, and they absolutely came up with an excuse for me not to be hurt my ego. Another one is polarized thinking. So polarized thinking is when you say, basically, I'm either going to have no cookies at all, or I'm going to have the whole damn box. Right. And I have one cookie. I'm already off my diet, so I'm going to eat the whole box. Polarized thinking. It's, again, another way you're lying to yourself. Another way. Emotional reasoning. And this is basically all it is your limited beliefs. Right? False thinking, creating a false reality. Letting your emotions in that moment dictate your reality, dictate the actions you are taking or not taking. So emotional reasoning is limited beliefs, basically. Another way of lying to ourselves is over analyzing. So let's think of what. So over analyzing is basically, taking something that's little into something that's big. Taking a little teeny thing that happened to your life and expanding it so you lie to yourself to not do certain things. So the next thing is one that I never even thought of until I did some research, and it's cultural conditioning, right? So culture conditioning. And you don't need to be, Mormon. You don't need to be a certain religion that really have this culture conditioning. What you have to look at is where you grew up, right? Where you grew up. If you said, man, if I dress a certain way, I'm going to be made fun of. If I talk a certain way, I'm going to be looked at differently. And it could be a religion. It could be something that strict, or it could be just your cultural conditioning of where you grew up. So therefore, you not stepping out to become your own person because you are so affected by how the culture around you is putting this on you, right? So culture conditioning, that's another one. And so those are a few, right? Those are a few. I want to ask you, what is it? Like, what are you lying to yourself about? We do it daily. And you're self-sabotaging your success. You're self-sabotaging your success. Me as a life coach and a public speaker, I sat back, and after I jumped, I thought, oh my God, this is amazing. But the biggest aha to jumping out of an airplane was that I was lying to myself every single day on even just the smallest stuff. Some things I don't lie to myself about, but really, you have to ask yourself this one question. Everybody I talk to, people say, man, I hate liars. I hate liars. Have you ever said, I hate liars? Or I don't want to get, a relationship with that person because he's a liar, she's a liar. Or I don't want to be friends with that person anymore because they're liars. So you hate lying, but you lie to yourself daily. How does that make sense? How do you hate liars and hate lying, but you're lying to yourself daily? And the way to stop lying to yourself is truly to have self-awareness. And the key with self-awareness is this right here. A pause. A pause. Be self-aware and take a step back and pause. Okay, let me kind of put an example out there. So you have this feeling about this person, and that's why you don't want to go there. Self-awareness, realize that, take a step back, pause, and then change your thinking. Okay. Maybe you want to go ahead and go to the gym, but you come up with an excuse. Take a step back, pause, and change your thinking. You have to become self-aware in order to stop lying to yourself. If you want to stop lying to yourself, you have to become self-aware. You need to realize that you have a ceiling right now. You have an absolute ceiling. And you can't bust through that ceiling by lying to yourself with even the littlest shit. Stop justifying things to hold on to your ego and prevent it from being hurt. Stop justifying things and putting on other people so you don't have to be the one to say it. Stop justifying your own damn lies. It happens at a very young age, and then it continually, progressively gets worse. Gets worse as you get older. And I have to become a master at it. So I'm challenging you as I'm challenging myself to become a master at stop being the person that's the biggest liar in your life. It's not your mother. It's not your father. It's not your friend. It's not your enemy. The biggest liar in your life is you. It's you. What are you going to do to change it? And on a daily basis, this, guys, is a lifelong journey. Okay? It's a lifelong journey to stop the self-sabotage. If you're in here, let me know you're in here. Share this bad boy out. I just wanted to add some value to you guys today. Truly, it was just, blew my mind. And I felt like if I didn't get on here and told this to you guys, I wouldn't be doing my job and what I'm on this earth to do, which is add value and change some lives. Martha, thank you very much. Challenge accepted. Awesome. Martha is on The Ultimate You, which is going to be releasing to everybody next week. So be on the lookout for that. Big announcement coming next week. Martha took advantage of some early bird stuff at a conference I spoke at not too long ago. So I can't wait to hear the next 30 days how that has changed your life, Martha. Guys, what questions do you have? I want to open this thing up to Q&A. Today we're talking about thinking and how we self-sabotage ourselves by lying to ourselves. And there's so many different levels of thinking. I think my biggest one, once again, is that ego defense mechanism. I think that's the biggest one. I since I am a public speaker and I am out there preaching, you want to be always 100% on, but you can't. We're human. So by that ego defense mechanism, being aware of that in itself is going to make me take bigger action. My coach actually just reached out to me this morning, and it's crazy. Okay, I don't believe in coincidences, right? I just don't. Brian Moses, shout out to you for teaching me that. Then I get a message this morning at 4:00 in the morning from my coach, and I'm doing this thing where he wants me to reach out to a certain amount of people. And the way to do it, I was finding obstacles. I was finding reasons not to do it because it was hard. Not necessarily the action of it, but to find a way to get it done. I was Googling, I was doing this. I was like, it can't be done. Like what you want me to do can't be done. There's no technology that'll allow me to do it. So anyway, I woke up this morning to a message. And the message basically said, F resistance, find a way to do it. And he found a way to do it. But what that comes back to is, look, I was lying to myself that there was no way to do it. Why? Why was I lying to myself? Because I did not want to continue. The 15 minutes was enough for me to look and call it quits. I lied to myself because I think, the time I had to put into it, I didn't want to. Why? I don't know. But there was something in me that pulled me back. And even, I get pulled back and lie to myself. So stop lying to yourself. Whether you're, polarized thinking, you're making, little things into big things, whether you're rationalizing it, or you have the ego defense mechanism going on, you're lying to yourself. And it's absolutely ridiculous that, you don't let liars into your life, but yet you're the biggest liar. What's up, Ponch? Yes, coincidence has no purpose. So, look, I just, I want to make sure that I add some value to you. If I could leave you with this, it would be that every single day you're going to attempt to lie to yourself. It's those who catch it and change it. Those who catch it and change it are the ones that are making millions of dollars and billions of dollars, are the ones that are living a better quality of life. It's a lifelong journey, guys. It's a lifelong journey. So let me open it up to any Q&A. If you guys have any questions, drop it down there. I'm going to stay on for another couple minutes. Any questions whatsoever, put them down there. Let's get these things off and running. I want to give you guys some motivation, inspiration, something, a challenge the way you're thinking today. Because if you're not challenging the way you're thinking on a daily basis, somebody has to do it for you. And whether you have a coach or accountability partner or wife, find somebody that is holding you accountable to challenge your thinking. And, it's hard to have your wife or your husband do it, but, it could happen. But you got to find somebody that's willing to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear, because I promise you, growth doesn't come from being comfortable. Growth doesn't come from you not having somebody push you and tell you what the way you're thinking is not the right way. My coach tells me all the time, the way you're thinking is not the right way. Like, change it up. Challenge yourself. And you can't do it all the time by yourself. You got to have somebody to hold you accountable. Rebecca, what's going on? How are you? Hopefully your day is starting off amazing. I know that your husband's birthday was it yesterday or 2 days ago? 2 days ago. So I hope you are having an amazing day. Questions, guys, let's go ahead and drop them in there. I want to answer some questions you guys may have. Look, it's Thursday morning. You're on this. Whether it's 6 o'clock your or 6:30 your time, 7:30 your time, 8:30. I don't know where you're at, but you're jumping on here not because you want to hear me talk, hopefully to grab some value and implement. And stop with the information porn world. I can give you all the information in the world. I can give you all my courses. I can give you all my knowledge, but it doesn't work if you don't implement. So stop overwhelming yourself with information and start consuming yourself with implementation. Good, Rebecca. I'm glad you're starting the day off great. That's what I love to hear. Starting your day off, though. It's 8:30 in Florida. Are you just starting now? Supposed to be waking up on the F's, girl. All right, guys, Q&A. Look, I'm going to sit here for another 2 minutes. Any questions you guys have, your biggest obstacle, or, maybe what we talked about today, which was, the way you think and the lies you're telling yourself, drop them in here. If not, share this bad boy out. Look, let them watch the replay. Let them watch the replay. Give them some kind of value today. Change someone else's life. When I woke up this morning and I felt like I was going to play in the Super Bowl, it was all because of one little event that changed the way I thought. Like I said, jumping out of the airplane was an amazing rush, amazing adrenaline. But what I got out of even more was the realization of I was lying to myself in so many ways. And sometimes I was lying to myself. I was projecting on somebody else, right? Asking somebody else to do the lying for me so I don't have to feel so bad. You ever have that happen where it's like, I don't really want to go out to dinner with this person tonight. Not that you don't like them or anything, but you don't want to go out to dinner with them, or maybe you don't want to go to the gym with them. And you hit them up and say, hey, are you sure you still want to go out tonight? Or, hey, you still want to go tonight? Versus, hey, can't wait to go out tonight. Hey, can't wait to go to the gym today. How many times have you said that to somebody and you put the responsibility on them to lie so that you don't have to be the one that lies? Come on, man. It happens all the time. Don't lie to yourself right now and say it doesn't. All the time. All right, look, if nobody has any questions, I'm going to wrap things up and get on with my day. I got my must crush it list here. So my day is packed with productivity and power. I hope yours is going to be as well. If you have any questions, reach on out to me next week. I think it probably next Thursday. A big announcement coming your way, so be on the lookout for that. Invite your friends to it. I'll be doing another Facebook Live with a big announcement. In the meantime, you guys enjoy your weekend, and remember what Memorial Day is. Remember what it's about, and make sure you guys give thanks every single day, give gratitude every day. Look, change the way you're thinking. Stop lying to yourself. I promise you, it will change the game. All right? Don't accept liars into your life and all of a sudden you're going to be the biggest liar. Let's change it. Let's stop lying to ourselves. Let's be productive. Let's be self-aware, and let's go create the ultimate version of ourselves. Have a good one, guys, and I'll see you soon.